Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So today we do have payments going out to certain beneficiaries of Social Security of right around $1,900 on average. Some people receiving much more, some people a little bit less. So we are going to be going over who is going to be eligible to receive those payments today. Plus, 7 jurors have already been selected for Trump's hush money trial. We're going to be going over the profiles for them. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm. And also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $10,000 in free stocks or $10,000 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Moomoo. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least $100. At that point, Moomoo will be sending you at least 5 free stocks worth all the way up to $10,000. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stocks is just sell them for what they're worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so the Trump trial, of course, has been underway for a couple of days now. Today, they are taking the day off. It is going to resume again tomorrow on Thursday, where they are going to try to pick the remaining 5 jurors. And then they're going to have 6, bench jurors in case they need to replace someone in the middle of a trial. But according to CNN here's what we know currently about these 7 jurors that have already been selected for Trump's trial in Manhattan. So juror number 1, who is going to be the foreperson of the jury. He works in sales and has some college education. He's originally from Ireland. He's married with no children, and he gets his news from the New York Times, Daily Mail, and sometimes Fox News and MSNBC. So he gets his news from a wide array of different places. Juror number 2 is an oncology nurse. She's a native New Yorker who lives with her fiance, and she reads the New York Times and watches CNN. Jury number 3 is a corporate lawyer. This is a little bit unusual because I believe they don't typically allow lawyers on a jury. He's originally from Oregon. He's not married and does not have children, and he gets his news from the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Google. Juror number 4, he runs an IT business for training and consulting. Attended 1 year of college. He's an older man originally from Puerto Rico who is married with adult children and 2 grandkids, and he told the court that he finds Trump fascinating and mysterious, but he did not indicate any strong feelings about his politics. That's certainly an interesting juror there. Juror number 5 is an English teacher in a public charter school system. Has a master's degree in education. She's a young black woman who is not married and does not have children. Says she avoids political conversations and was not aware that Trump is facing charges in other criminal cases. Juror number 6 is a software engineer at a large broadcast company. Recently graduated from college, not married and does not have children, and currently living with 3 roommates in Chelsea. Gets her news from the New York Times, Google, Facebook, and TikTok. And then finally, juror number 7 is a civil litigator, married with 2 kids, lives on the Upper East Side in Manhattan. Said they were likely Trump administration policies he disagreed with, and reads the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, New York Post, and Washington Post. So those were the 7 jurors. Remember, Trump just needs one person who believes that he is innocent in this case to have him acquitted. And then whether or not they try to retry this in Manhattan, if he does get acquitted, I honestly don't see all 12 jurors in Manhattan, New York, acquitting him. I just feel like there's too much hate towards the guy in New York for there really to, be a fair trial. Just to be completely honest, just like I don't think that Joe Biden could really get a fair trial. If you put him on trial for something in a very rural area of a red state, just not going to happen. If you pull up the map here for the voting results for New York County, which is Manhattan, Joe Biden won the 2020 election, took almost 87% of the vote. So do I think that Trump has a chance to be acquitted in this? Certainly. I think there probably could be at least 1 or 2 jurors on there that might find him not guilty? Do I think that people could be fair even if they do hate Donald Trump and would not vote for him, that they could still acquit him? Sure. But do I also think that someone might hate Donald Trump so much that even if they found the evidence wasn't great enough, they would still try to convict him just to see him behind bars? I certainly would as well. And there was actually some jurors who were struck off the jury list yesterday because they had Facebook post or a post on social media that essentially said exactly that they need to lock him up. And I guess the Trump's attorneys found those posts, and because of those posts, the judge did strike them from the list. And those are people that actually posted their thoughts online. There's going to be a lot of people who maybe don't have social media, and they wouldn't post something like that. And then at the same time, there might actually be, someone who's a huge Trump fan is going to acquit him no matter what the evidence might show. So there's kind of both sides of things here. Trump has such a huge personality. He's so popular, and people have mixed views on him on extremes. Either extremely hate him, extremely love him. And there might be some people in the middle who really could feel either way. But let me know your thoughts in comments below. What do you think is going to be the outcome of this trial? And then our next news piece of today, of course, there are going to be certain beneficiaries of Social Security receiving checks of right around $1,900 this Wednesday, April 17th. Those people are going to be those with birthdays falling between the 11th and 20th of any given month. So according to DS, who will receive $1,900 from Social Security on April 17th. So according to the Social Security payment schedule, beneficiaries who were born between the 11th and 20th of a given month will receive their average check of $1,900 on the third Wednesday of the month. For April, this will be on April 17th. The date when the payment is issued depends on the beneficiary's date of birth. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of the month, you'll receive your payment on the second Wednesday. If your birth date falls between the 11th and the 20th, you'll receive it on the third Wednesday, the group this week. Once again, today, April 17th. So if you were born between the 11th and 20th of any given month, once again, you will be receiving that payment today. Once again, those payments on average are right around $1,900. Although the max payment is close to $5,000. Now, speaking of Social Security, of course, in the next few years, the system is going to be going broke. There's not going to be enough money coming into the trust from the FICA taxes to pay out 100% of the benefits. And because of that, there is going to be a cut in benefits of anywhere between 20 to 26%. And that's by one Boston University professor. Is saying that the retirement safety net is full of holes and that Social Security is broke beyond belief. So according to Yahoo Finance, many Americans aren't saving enough for retirement and they're relying on Social Security benefits to get by in retirement, but that may not be a sound strategy. Lawrence Kotlikoff told The Brink, Boston University's research news website, that Social Security is broke beyond belief. Its unfunded liability is $65.9 trillion, which is twice the size of the official government debt. The retirement planning evangelist and professor of economics at Boston University said that paying for all projected benefits through time requires an immediate and permanent hike in the employee FICA tax from 12.4% up to 17%. The Federal Insurance Contributions Act FICA tax is a combined employer-employee federal payroll tax. Without it, Social Security payments are on track to be reduced as soon as 2034, possibly even sooner than that. And even if Social Security benefits are still paid out in full, many Americans face complicated hurdles in the system. So he's basically saying that in order for people to continue receiving 100% of the projected benefits, we would have to increase that FICA tax, where the employee pays in currently 6.2% and the employer matches that at 6.2%. And then for self-employed people, they have to pay the entire 12.4%. They would have to increase it up to 17%, where it would be 8.5% tax coming out of the employee's paycheck and 8.5% matched by the employer. And we can see here just how much that would impact people. That instead of, perhaps putting the money from their paycheck into FICA, sending that money to the government, if they instead just put that in the S&P 500 and they received a 10% rate of return over 40 years, let's say someone starts working at the age of 25 and they retire at the age of 65, that's 40 years. If they were to instead just put that money, if they made $60,000 per year on average throughout their working career and they contributed 17% of that paycheck, that would be $10,200 invested every single year for them. And with a 10% rate of return at the end of 40 years, that would give them a balance of $4.5 million. Now let's just say in the case that they were to contribute 8.5%, because that would be the employer match at 8.5%. In that case, with a $60,000 annual salary on average, they would be contributing $5,100 for 40 years. At the end of that, that would be $2.257 million, which of course is going to be a lot more than what they would ever receive from Social Security if they had to tax people at a rate of 17%. So again, Social Security is a great safety net, but people are going to be a lot better off if they were just to invest that money on their own. Obviously, that's not going to be the case for a lot of people. So I guess Social Security is good in that way. But if they were to raise that tax all the way up to 17%, that's going to be a lot of money coming out of each person's paycheck just to keep the program solvent for a longer period of time. Now, to wrap up this video, of course, we have another superstar, Patrick Mahomes. He's a quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's coming out and saying whether or not he's going to endorse either Donald Trump or Joe Biden. So according to The Hill, Patrick Mahomes, on staying at a presidential race, he said, "I do not want to pressure anyone." So Kansas City Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes is declining to weigh in on this year's presidential race, urging voters in a new interview to do their own research before the election. He said, "I don't want to pressure anyone to vote for a certain president." Mahomes said in an interview with Time magazine published on Tuesday, "I want people to use their voice, whoever they believe in. I want them to do the research." So I think this is a good thing that Mahomes is coming out. He's not endorsing either person. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson recently did something very similar where he said he's not going to endorse Biden, nor is he going to endorse Trump. I don't think we should have these celebrities coming out and endorsing either candidate. I think people should be able to, do their own research and not vote for Biden or vote for Trump just because their favorite celebrity told them to do so. I think people should do their own research, figure out, we've now had 4 years of Trump, we've had close to 4 years of Biden. So at this point, we can pretty well think for ourselves who did better for our lives and our families. So once again, leave your thoughts and comments below on everything that we spoke about in today's video. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. And I will see you in the next video.